Produce, if you're not getting views, there are 4 key things you need to start focusing on right now.
Launching your podcast and letting the studios take care of everything might sound convenient, but trust me, that usually doesn't work out.
Here's what we did instead, which helped this channel reach almost 30,000 views and 1,000 subscribers with just 4 episodes through our 80-20 approach. One of our clients reached out to us when he had 50 recorded episodes. Basically, we started this channel from scratch. What we did then is to focus on the most important thing, the click. The reason is because this is the only opportunity for you to catch the viewer's attention. And it's what every big YouTuber tells you to optimize for first.
Really put in bold letters how important packaging is. And because of that, you're going to live in a world of tracking click-through rate. Packaging for every creator, top creator, brand new creator, no matter where you are, the title and thumbnail is the most important part of YouTube. It's just like you cannot say it enough. It's something that we talked about with Jimmy in our last interview.
Most don't understand like how important.
I don't think I actually got it until recently, and I know that sounds crazy.
But the problem is you never actually get it because it's always more important than you realize.
It's more important than you realize.
Even me, I'm constantly every other month going, dang, I forgot like just how important the title and thumbnail is. And I like you almost have to like every day like sit in a corner and go, the title and thumbnail matters more than you think, and tell yourself that 10 times, because if not, like I don't know, it's because it seems so insignificant until you like really think about it and you're like, at the end of the day, if they don't click, they don't watch. And that like, you can make the best content ever, but if they don't click, you're dead.
Yeah.
And we had some great results. The first video had a CTR of 6.3, the second one 5.9%, the third one had 6%, but reached after a while 9%, and a month later even 15%. But what is a good CTR? A CTR is always dependent on the impressions. Impressions is when YouTube is showing your video to a different person on the home feed, search feed, or suggested feed. If you have a relative high impressions, a low CTR can still be good. For example, if you have 1 million impressions and a CTR of 1%, that still means that you're getting 100,000 of views. But if your impressions are very low and your CTR is pretty low too, then you know where to focus on your next video.
We humans tend to judge a book by its cover, and we do the same thing with a video by its thumbnail. A big example is Netflix. They know that for you to choose what to watch, the cover must grab your attention immediately. It's that image that makes you think, that's interesting, I'm going to watch it. If this doesn't happen, you just move to the next one, right? And YouTube is no different. The thumbnail is the cover of your video. And if the thumbnail is not eye-catching, clear, or to the point, the chances that your video is going to be ignored are huge. Here goes a small tip. Use Netflix for entertainment, but also try to use it as a reference source. I am pretty sure you're gonna find lots of great ideas that will help you creating your next thumbnails. Here's what we did for the thumbnails. We made sure they were emotionally engaging, so we chose strong quotes that the guests said in the episodes, and we tried to play with emotions such as desire, FOMO, curiosity, or we tried to use sentences that were kind of unexpected or controversial. They tend to work really well. We were very picky with the image of the guest, so we always chose clear and also large images of the person. Why? Because we humans are drawn to faces, and especially eyes. Next time you go on YouTube, pay attention how your eyes are drawn automatically to faces. But let me tell you something that no one is really talking about. We noticed a mistake on the 4th video. We were optimizing our thumbnails just for the browse feed, and we ignored the suggested feed. That's why our 4th video didn't perform so well compared to the other ones. If you're still having a small podcast channel or your audience is not big enough, try to optimize your thumbnails to the suggested feed, because YouTube will test your videos mainly there to see if it resonates with the audience, and from there it's gonna be sent to a broader audience. Let me explain to you what is the browse feed and the suggested feed. So the browse feed is the YouTube homepage where the videos are shown based on your interests. And the suggested feed are the videos just here on the right side, which you shouldn't click right now because you need to finish this video, okay? And if you are using your mobile, these videos will be shown below the comments of the video. But how do I know if the thumbnail is optimized for the suggested feed or not? Very easy. You can use the free website called thumbsup.tv, your best friend from now on. There, you're gonna be able to see how your thumbnail is gonna look like on different feeds and devices. You'll see the final result. Another tip for you, something that we put lots of thoughts into it actually. When you create your thumbnail, make sure that you use a bold font and also colors that have a good contrast, especially if you're gonna use text. Make sure that there's a very good contrast between the background and the text, okay? You have to have in your mind that most of the times, the thumbnail will be seen in a very small size. So everything which is in your thumbnail should be able to be seen.
Let's talk next about titles. Titles should be intriguing, clear, and they should lead with authority. Make it clear why this video will add value to the viewers. For example, XCI Spy reveals how they're controlling you. XCI Spy gives authority to the guest. It also gives a sense of FOMO, like who are they and how do they control you. A good title should always be around 55 characters. For one reason, because it's easier to read. Remember, they're just scanning through the home feed or the suggested feed on the side to pick the next video. So a shorter title is easier to read and quicker to scan. Also, it can be cut off if it's exceeding over the 55 characters. To check that also, you can use thumbs up for that too. Just be aware on different feeds, the view behavior is a little bit different. On the home feed, for example, people are just scanning, but on search, you can get better results with longer titles because people are there looking for the next video more intensively. After the title, we like to add the name of the guest because we like to tell the viewers who this brilliant guest is, and also for search or SEO purposes. We want to make people click. How we do that? Through emotions, like in the examples. We use the sense of FOMO. Other emotions are desire, curiosity. Combine those emotions to make the people click on your video. After focusing on the click, we focused on the guests. So what we did, we analyzed each guest audience from YouTube, LinkedIn to Instagram. The reason why we ranked Instagram below is because it's a short form content platform. So it's very hard to convince the users to stop watching Reels and start watching an hour-long podcast. Second was LinkedIn because it's a business podcast and most professionals using LinkedIn. And last but not least, YouTube because this is where the audience is already, so it's easier to convert those. And then we started with the most known guests. We started very, very high. And then we took this momentum to give the podcast channel some authority and credibility and moved there with some momentum. And after the click, we focused on the first 30 seconds, the hook. Back in the days, YouTube only had one metric to measure if a video is doing well or not, views. But there were many users who misused clickbait. They had misleading titles and thumbnails, so viewers were clicking on the videos but left eventually the video or even the platform. And YouTube had to figure out how to solve this problem. So YouTube is learning constantly, and they started to analyze the first 30 seconds very closely. You can see this in your analytics as well. But it's not just for YouTube to see if a video is performing well or not, it's also for you, because statistic has shown the longer a person stays in the beginning, the longer the people stay till the end. Think of they gave you a permission. To structure a good hook, we tried to start with lots of value in the beginning. We started the first sentence with like a wow effect, something very emotional, something, wow, I never thought about this. Then we tried to show that the guest can bring the value which is promised in the title and thumbnail. And at the end, we tried to make the people again feeling emotions like curiosity, so we ended on a cliffhanger. But do not use too many cliffhangers, because if you're using too many, people might get annoyed and just stop watching your intro. Another tip is do not use the same phrase from your thumbnail on your hook, because you want to keep it fresh. If you have any repetition, users might leave as well. A good hook has a retention of 70%. So if you add anything underneath that, try to enhance your hook. And if you want to be in the top league, try to aim for 90%.
But to really grow your podcast, you need to optimize for things such as retention and returning viewers. Watch this next video because it's a complete free masterclass where we break down our entire strategy step by step with real examples. It's packed with actionable tips that will change how you approach your podcast growth. See you there.